Welcome back, Venturers. It's time for another discussion about VNs. I am MR, and together with Tauros, we want today to talk about all the times that VNs made us angry. We'll focus on the bad, angry feeling, not the good, angry feeling. Okay, listen. Being angry, unga bunga, wanting to smash my PC seems complicated. So why don't you explain, Tauros?
Some visual novels make it a point to purposely piss you off. We're talking like characters who do some despicable things, or just absolute rotten luck timing to set the heroes back in their journey. You know, that's the intentional stuff, but no. We're talking here about the most infuriating parts in visual novels that hit you directly, the reader. This isn't about a storytelling thing like, Shinji from Fate Stay Night. We're talking just the dumbest plot twists, the most obnoxious characters, the most impossible, crazy BS plot twists. Nuh-uh. That's the kind of stuff that we're talking about here in this episode. So, MR, I feel like to anyone who has listened to this channel for a while, you know right away what our first example is going to be. So let's just get that out of the way now, huh?
Yeah, we need to go and name Geminism.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. What is
I mean, overall,
it
just had so much wasted potential. Reading Geminism was more often than not just frustrating because you're like, why are you not doing what would make this a good story? You're just, you keep either wasting our time with these slice of life segments, and then you start to make progress and you immediately cut yourself off at the knees.
Whenever something gets going, something feels like, is it? Oh,
yeah.
That was. It felt like every single time it had something, some potential. It get good. It felt like self-sabotage.
I think the funniest, and by funniest I mean most made me want to ram my head into the wall moment was when they were at the aquarium. And you're like, oh, okay. Oh, we're getting some really sweet character development. Oh, okay, this is great.
Yeah,
and then
finally.
They have like H scene. They got some really weird, out of place porno H scene stuff. And I'm like, are you for real?
And you know what's funny about that? If that would, you know what? Tauros, listen to me. That's the craziest part. If they had H scene, that actually would be okay. But no, instead you have some weird phantom pain feeling transmutation from between one heroine to another to disturb a date. Like, it's the most weird part ever to ruin that moment.
It's just...
Honestly, if that would be just an H scene in that date, I would accept it better. But no, it had to be some magic, timey-wimey...
Yeah, so let's just get that out of the way. Just, Geminism was so much wasted potential.
It's just... I completely agree. And I had some hopes. Maybe the second perspective will shine some light. But then again, I knew what kind of male protagonist was waiting there. So I'm like, nuh-uh. There's no hope left.
So, speaking of other titles... one that I have carried with me for several years now is a visual novel called Enigma. And it was really...
It's okay, Tauros. You can
yes, I
now
can say
it.
It's Enigma. Okay. I can get it off my chest.
It's the support group.
No, because it's a really interesting premise. It's a visual novel where the main character washes up on the shore of a small island. And... he gets discovered and he's brought into the village to be cared for and nursed back to health. He says that he is suffering from an incurable disease that's slowly killing him. And in fact, this disease has been ravaging the world. Well, the people on this island hadn't heard of it at all, this strange disease called Enigma. But they did say that, there is a forest on the island, and at the center of the forest, there's a great big white tree, and they call that tree Enigma. And you're like, oh, interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, it's a really cool visual novel. It's very character focused, and there's all sorts of greater mysteries and backstories and lore going on. It's very well balanced. It's basically split up into 3 arcs, I guess you could say, with 3, I suppose you could say, romanceable, individuals. And again, it's all blended together so well. You've got the character development, you've got the budding relationships between the main character and the others. You've got the whole mysteries building up. Every time you get the answer to one mystery, it opens up some more questions about the background of this world and all of that. And you go through the routes. The first route, it's like, okay, that's our introduction. And then you go through the second route, and you're like, oh, the mysteries are ramping up. We're really feeling it. And then we get to the third route. And there's no one single infuriating moment. It's just the slow creeping dread that you realize none of this stuff is going to get answered. We're building up all of the questions, all of the desires to just explore this world so much, and it's just leaving you there at the edge. And I'm reading there, and I'm getting closer and closer to the end, because you can get a feel for when a visual novel is reaching the climax and it's ending and stuff. We're getting closer, and I'm getting more and more in denial. That I'm reading, like, my eyes are wide open. I'm like, this is not how we're ending it, right? There's so much still left on the table. No way, right? We're getting to the end. We see the credits with the ending animation, and I'm still there in shock. We get the post-credits scene, and I'm still like, no. Come
Anytime
on,
now,
please.
anytime.
And I'm like, no, that was truly it. I even had to... It felt so much like this was a prequel. I was looking up on like VNDB. It was like, is there some other visual novel out there that like Enigma is a prequel to? Have I just been missing that context the whole time? And it's like, no, it just left all of these missing pieces just still on the table, and the VN just walked away. And I was like, oh my god, how could you do this to me? How could you set up all of this great world through that? I still want to know so much about all of the events in Enigma, and they just walked away. It's just a generally underwhelming third act. I was like, I can't believe it. You've tortured my soul like this. You've hurt me so much more than any just generally bad visual novel could do. No, you were amazing, and then you just left me wanting more. You just left me wanting anything. I can't believe it. I was sick to my stomach.
In a sick and twisted way, I love the angry example you brought, because I have a very similar one. Very similar one.
Mm-hmm.
I need to bring something back, something I haven't mentioned for some time now. I need to go back to when I read Dead End Ages. Okay. So I hear it's very good, it's highly praised, and it even has a prequel. So before even buying, you can read a free prequel story to the opening act. Okay? I download the prequel, I read it, and I'm hooked. It's a story about alien invasion with an edgy skew with magical girls. Okay, so far so good. You introduce characters that are very... It's a crazy cast of characters of unique personality. So you already know that there is some airhead, some calm and collected character, but with a hidden switch that makes her go very emotional. Fair enough. And the game proper starts, and you are introduced to a completely new cast of characters. Okay, so you have legendary heroes of the past from the prologue, and the new next generation. Okay, I'm here. I'm in for it. And the more I read about the story, the more I'm thinking, wait, I don't think I've ever read a sci-fi story about impending alien invasion in which those alien forces are adaptable. So you need to be on your toes because whichever dominating tactic you'll use, they might outsmart you and render it useless. So arms race of sorts. Involving magical girls, notably, but still. Okay. And all throughout the story, September big yearly invasion. Okay, September is coming. And they skipped it and by saying the message, it happened. Like, what the fuck? You were building so much on this freaking September and you didn't show it?
Seriously? Yeah, they
built
worry.
up. But don't worry, Taurus. Don't worry, Taurus, okay. Don't worry. They fit 2 consecutive H scenes instead. Oh, I was so angry. There were so many torturous, dark, and stomach-churning H scenes, and they had to make room for those. But for the big confrontation with alien invasion, that was said from the beginning that it will happen in September. No, they just skipped it over. With one message box that says, yeah, it was hard battle, but we won. We persevered. Fuck you. Enjoy some more H scenes. Oh, that made me angry.
That's such a troll move. Oh my god. See, they're actually... I bet they cut it out so that they could sell a novelization describing that great, huge battle. I bet.
I would not be... Oh my god. I would not be surprised. Oh my god.
Okay, so like...
Every single time that title got me, like, something intriguing is happening, something among the sheep, because the crew is rebelling from the living conditions, but at the same time, they all prepare their magical powers and strategies to confront another batch of scouts. And this time they are different. This time they adapted to another kind of laser beam from the magical girls, but now they are immune, whatever. And every single time I'm absorbing that, okay, what's next? And then you have the most torturous H scenes. Okay, I'm like, okay, I can endure all of this. And they don't show the big battle. What the hell?
That's the entire premise of the story, isn't it?
That's the build-up. Now, granted, they did some final confrontation, take the fight back to the enemy, sure. But the one hook, the one invasion we need to prepare because their yearly huge swath of aliens are attacking, so you better train. You get your dark fantasy training in order to develop your bigger and stronger lasers.
Well, MR, it paid off. They won. There you go.
Thanks.
You should be happy.
Thanks.
You should be entertained.
I didn't notice. I blinked. Yeah, I blinked. I didn't notice.
There you go. I'm glad we could clear that up. Okay. Well, we'll have to scale it back from that side of planetary alien invasion. Because there's one title. It's an amazing visual novel. I would recommend it to a lot of people, called Majikoi. It's so fun. Even though as a premise it doesn't sound all that interesting, it's just about a high school boy who's going to high school with all his friends, and it's very martial arts focused. So, that still isn't too much of the premise, but it's mostly just a lot of comedy and a lot of incredible writing. Like I said, it's hard to recommend because of the premise, but it's just the sort of thing that you start reading and you're like, oh my god, this is engrossing. I can't stop. One caveat to it, though, is that it's a very pervy VN. Like, this was released, I think, in, 2008. This was still the era of, anime being entirely about things that might be considered sexual harassment today. And it's like, okay, well, it is what it is. Like I said, it's still got great comedy, it's still got great dialogue and all of that, so it's just part of the experience. During the slice of life segments, okay, that's all right. But there are a few plot moments in Majikoi that involve, sexy stuff. And when it happens, it's just such a massive just falling off a cliff. You're going from something that's like an actually decent story and all the great plot moments and stuff, and then you just suddenly interrupted by just porn tier storytelling. And it's like, I'm just reading it kind of in shock of like, are we seriously just about to derail this, everything we've been going through in this good story, the great characterization, the emotional moments, we got some serious danger involved, and now I'm reading a Nukige. Like, again...
Are you not entertained?
No. Like, again, when it was during the slice of life stuff, when it's the comedy stuff, okay, that's enjoyable if you're okay with that sort of stuff. I see, it's fine. But the few times it interrupts like the actual plot stuff that we're trying to get through as a serious visual novel, oh my god, it completely just destroys all of the setup. It's completely ruined. It's like you can't even look back. You can't even think about just describing the route, the plot as normal anymore, because then you have to take a quick dip into, and then there was some Nukike porno shit that happened, and well, let's just move on. It's like, oh my god. Majikoi is so good, but then it's this stuff. It just makes the super perviness just completely unavoidable. And not in a good way, in just an absolute terrible, the worst possible way. It's like, oh my god.
More iconic duo. Taros talking about Majikoi and complaints about age scenes.
It's also
I'll
weird.
wait.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna say that about me, it's like, ooh, Taros hates age scenes. It's like, no, not really. There's a few age scenes in Majikoi that are actually pretty good. They contribute to the story, and they're very nice and they're sweet. They've got the characterization and stuff. And then there's other, pervy moments that are super funny in Majikoi. Nothing against that. It's just like I said, I just don't like bad H scenes. Anyways, it's just mind-boggling that you've got Majikoi's got some great stuff cooking up, and it's just completely blown up with a stick of dynamite. It's just oh my god. Like I said, that's what this episode is, just infuriating.
And not necessarily infuriating in such a way that we hate the VM. Specific, like you said, Majikoi, you brought an example that you, for the first time ever, you talk about this title. Never before have you ever mentioned that. And that's the one you like very well, right?
Yeah, it's not the stuff like, oh wow, the story is intending to make me upset at what's going on. No, it's like, I just want to look at the devs and ask, what the heck were you guys thinking?
Speaking of, what were you thinking? And a title that I adore very much, but holy hell, did it test my patience a lot. I would be remiss not mentioning Amatsuzumi, because holy hell, did the title really, really made me angry multiple times. To recap the story of Amatsuzumi, this is quite unique, because this is a story of not quite normal high school, not quite normal boy from not quite normal city that is from a small reclusive village and has superpower. Most notably, he can speak orders and people cannot object. And due to the nature of how dangerous that ability is, he has grown without any emotions whatsoever. So he's a very stoic, kind of stunted in emotionally from the development standpoint. And at some point, he just escapes the village. Okay, he wants to find a better life and explore. He feels that wanderlust. And this is a VN using ladder structure, meaning there is a finality, the final ending, so to speak, but along the way, you have a jumping off point. But unlike majority of the ladder structure in which you have a jumping off point and then you explore the side character, the jumping off point is basically a happily ever after with that given character. But their drama and their difficulties are incorporated in the main game. So ultimately you go throughout solving everybody's problem. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And boy, do those dramas suck fucking ass. Jesus. Those are the most infuriating or plain out weird points of story. First drama we encounter is about how this protagonist infiltrated the city by speaking and commanding all around them to believe he's son in a family that didn't have a son, right? So he pretends to be son to a mother that has a cafe or a restaurant, and she has also a daughter. So now it's his sister. Man, the weird incest thing that they exploit here is just stupid, because it's pretend blood related, but everybody believes and he knows he isn't. Like, it's just no.
Does
It's
the
just
VN
so
try going through the whole romance stuff and we are but we aren't?
Yes, because during the course of that story, you have a sister that develops the feelings for the protagonist and thinking that's immoral and doesn't understand how that came to be because she's his sister, but he understands why. And because it's like, okay, but I'm not your brother, but he doesn't say that because that would break his disguise. And you go, oh my God, just why you build a drama on that? This is so stupid.
I mean, if you take plus if you take a step back, the whole mind controlling other people is kind of an awkward starting point too.
Exactly. How do you build trust on? Just don't get me started.
Yeah.
The next character in line is similarly crazy drama, and I know this would be something that Ange glazed when he talked about his favorite moments from that VN in the second ladder point. But in my opinion, it completely sucks us the way a second character that protagonist befriends just completely submits to him and treats him like a god. Like, yes, I can. No. And how self-sacrificial that character is for trying to sacrifice herself on a ritual to bring back her dead friend. It's just like, this is the most stupidest way they approach the drama. Because surely your dead friend would love for you to kill yourself. That's exactly the point I would use. Yep. Yes. Totally.
Ouch.
And the third character on the route has exactly the point you made when describing Magic Coin, is at some point just randomly injects H-Sin because the character was very jealous. Like, we are having serious discussion now. We are using some superpowers against superpowers. And now, you know what? H-Sin. And it doesn't solve even anything. Like, I don't want to go too much into specific because I would need to spoil the entire game. But every single time, it's either absolutely idiotic drama, stupid reasoning, or pointless H-Sin in the middle of something that's supposed to be super serious.
It sounds like you just didn't like Amatsutsumi much.
No, but the true ending is so good. It's hilariously enough, okay? It's a title that focuses on finding emotion. And there's grief, there's longing, blah, blah, blah. And this is explored in the previous character. And the final one is the most hilarious one because it deals with anger. And it's the best one ever. Pure, unadulterated anger. And that's the best kind of anger. So throughout the entire read of this title, they try to push the protagonist to explore his emotions, and I feel anger all the time. Then it comes to anger chapter, and I'm like, yes, I'm happy now. That's perfect. This is how it should be. Yeah. Yes. Man, there is a meme about a person digging through dirt to find diamonds. That's exactly a Matsutsumi. There are diamonds at the freaking end, but Holy Hand does it make it very difficult to dig.
Aye. Well, glad that you eventually found some sort of salvation at the end there.
Man.
Here's another infuriating one from me. This one's simple. It's Fate Extra. It's debatably not really a visual novel. It's more like a video game. You know, the classic RPG, fighting with a rock, paper, scissors battle system. But there are several parts in the game where you get to respond, you know, in the middle of some sort of dialogue scene, exactly like a visual novel. And there's a few moments where if you pick the wrong choice, you die. That's it. Game over. You have to go back to whenever you last saved in a JRPG. You can imagine that this might mean you lost out on quite a bit of grinding and story progress. There is no warning when you're about to get into one of these BS make the correct choice or you just straight up die. And it's by far one of the worst parts of the game. Oh my god. Just, can you imagine if other JRPGs did that? You're just, suddenly it's like, ooh, scary, tenseful moment, cutscene thing, and here you go, here's a choice of what to do, and you better pray you did it right, or otherwise you just get a game over. You get kicked back to when you last saved. That's wonderful, that's just great. That makes this game a lot better, doesn't it? God dang it.
Yeah, but now you can interact more with the gameplay.
No. So let's please leave that stuff out of visual novels. Because that's what makes them so great. You can save anytime. You're like, uh-oh, here's a choice. New save file. Hooray. I don't just lose the past 2 hours of me reading because I can't save or do anything. And here's a choice that kills you. Ugh.
Back to the start of the dungeon. Better get grinding.
Nothing complicated, just a game doing really stupid stuff.
Yeah, make better choices, huh? Okay. Now I need to dial back a little bit as well. So we go to Roma. Okay, and a very weird pick for infuriating title, but I had to pick Saku Saku. Saku Saku Cherry Blossoms title. And I felt that as very interesting premise, unlike a Matsutsumi in which you have a protagonist that is stunted from developing emotions but wants to experience them. In Saku Saku you have a protagonist that is very cold and outright rejects romance. That's the premise of the title. And you had some supernatural forces, a love fairy that visits him and tries to convince him to give love a chance. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know what? That's interesting. You try to engulf his heart with some love. Okay, that's lovey-dovey. So there are some heroines, like I think there are 4 heroines to choose from, and the one that he had the most vibe, in my opinion, was Yuri. She was the blue-haired girl, he hit it off with her, and it felt like the most natural thing how they interact. And I'm like, oh my god, that is so interesting. But where's the drama? Does it not have drama? Or her winning the protagonist over was the drama? And now I'm hit with the most annoying drama of all time. She said to him, you know, you're too good to me. We need to separate. I'm like, no, you did not. You did not do that in this title. Other characters had more stupid misunderstandings that due to the fact that characters don't communicate, snowball out of proportion, and that's the drama. Will they solve it? Will their relationship stand the test of time? And depending on how you like those kind of drama, it can be better or worse. But nothing prepared me for the drama of no drama. We just need to separate.
I don't really
Then we
know
need
how
to
you're
break up.
supposed to
I'm like-
advance a story from that.
What the fuck? I mean, they got together later. What the fuck? Like, that was just the most stupidest thing ever. So you're telling me, for no reason whatsoever other than you did all the most correct choices, now you separate, do some random tasks in the classrooms and with the love fairy, and couple scenes later you're back together. Like, what kind of ass fucking drama is that?
Oh my gosh.
Like, what the fuck? First you separate and then you're like, you know what, you were not so bad after all. Let's get back together. What the
I love
fuck
how
kind
it
of
went
garbage
from
is
you're too
that?
good for me, and then it's actually you're not so bad. Those seem to be opposites.
I mean, too good, I mean, as if you are too nice. Yeah, but still, just,
Well,
Oh my
we'll
God.
spare.
that
Yes,
made
we'll
me
spare
feel
your
things,
blood
okay?
pressure. It's already been half an hour of pumping that up.
Yeah.
So now we can wrap things up. Thank you all very much for listening. Hopefully the visual novels you've read have not been nearly as infuriating. But if they have, please let us know, and we can share in the misery.
Yeah, join in the comments. It's a safe space. Yes, you can tell us the most infuriating moment in a VN that made you shudder. Thanks for listening and
Venture
venture
out.
out.